Hello, dear students. Today we would discuss about meaning and definitions of education. The concept of education is always dynamic and ever changing. It has passed through many stages and through many ages uh, in the process of evolution, and at every stage it had a different meaning according to the then existing social situations. The concept of education is still in the process of evolution, and it will continue and will never come to an end. The word education. Education came from two Latin words, educare and educere. Educare means to bring up, and educere to draw out. While the two meanings are quite different, they both represented in the word education. So here educare involves transmission of knowledge from one who knows to the other who wishes to know. Here the process of teaching and learning is a mechanical one. It's a kind of passive learning. Educere means to draw out, to lead, that is from ignorance to knowledge, from darkness to light. So it is very significant from the philosophical point of view. In traditional Indian concept, education is vidya. Vid means knowledge. Now, the characteristics of education. Education is a purposive, deliberate, and planned activity. In a narrow sense, education is a conscious and deliberate effort on the part of the teacher to influence the learner in certain ways. So, in this sense, education is a process in which the two different parties are involved, the teacher and the student. But here, sometimes the teacher is considered as the active partner in the process of education, and the student as a mere recipient. Now, another characteristic, education can be considered as a bipolar process. So, here both the teacher and the student have equal importance, and there is an interaction between teacher and the taught. The character and personality of the teacher modifies the behavior of the student. In turn, the behavior of the student also changes the personality of the teacher. So it can be considered as a bipolar process. In Taittiriya Upanishad, education is considered as a bipolar process. It explains in the bipolar process of education, the teacher is the former pole, the student is the opposite pole. Knowledge emanating from the teacher to the student connects the two, and the instrument is the mutual discussion. In modern concept, education is a tripolar process. According to John Dewey, all education proceeds by the participation of the individual in the social consciousness of the race. So, education is a tripolar process which includes the social setting in which the teacher and the student interact. And education should cater the needs of the individual as well as the social requirements. So, education guides the children towards socially desirable channels also. Therefore, every activity in a democratic society should develop out of the real needs of the society. Therefore, it can. Education is a psychological process. A psychological process is a series of steps or mechanisms that occur in a regular way to attain changes in behavior, emotions, skills, or thoughts. Education is the process of making behavioral changes. In learning or education, education involves several activities in our brain, such as sensation, perception, concept formation, application of these concepts in real life situations, problem solving, etc. Now, education is a sociological process also. School and society are interdependent, and education is an activity that goes in the society, and its objectives and methods depend on the nature of the society in which it takes place. School is considered as a miniature of society or cross section of society. As is the society, so is the school. The school functions according to the needs and cultural backgrounds of the society and modifies the society. Now, education involves many sociological processes such as socialization, development of core values. um, it contributes economic progress of the nation and transformation of culture or socio-cultural transformation. So education is a socio. So what do you mean by education? Generally, we can say that education is the process of making changes in an individual, changes in the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains of an individual. That means changes in activities related with your head, heart, and hands. Now, meaning of education. Education has got a narrow meaning and a wider meaning. In narrow sense, education is equivalent to teaching learning imparted in schools and colleges. For example, when a child is first admitted in a nursery school, his education starts there. He follows certain new norms, syllabus in schools and colleges and even in universities. And finally, the amount of education he received in these institutions is measured in terms of degrees or diplomas awarded to him. So that is the narrow meaning of education. And the wider meaning of education, it is, or broader meaning of education, here education is a continuous lifelong process. It goes on from birth to death, and it is not at all limited to a certain period of life, and it is not at all limited to classroom teaching or institutional teaching. It is a continuous reconstruction of our life experiences and till our death, starting from birth till death. So that is the broader or wider meaning of education. So education can be considered as a lifelong process and is reconstruction of experience. So life is nothing but aggregate of experiences, a collection of experiences, and education is the process of reconstructing these experiences, and one experience leads to another and then to many others. Thus, the horizon of knowledge of the child or an individual is widened gradually. The behavior pattern of the student or the child gets modified by these experiences, and this process of reconstruction of experience is a continuous lifelong process. In a traditional Indian knowledge, it is said that Acharyat Padam Adatte Padam Shishya Swamedhaya Sabrahmacharibhya Padam Kalakramenasha. That means 1/4 of education from the Guru teacher, 1/4 from his own hard work, efforts, or intelligence, and 1/4 from your peer group or friends or classmates, and 1/4 only with time and experience. Now, some views and thoughts on education by great thinkers. According to Mahatma Gandhi, by education I mean an all round drawing out of the best in the child and man, body, mind, and soul. According to Swami Vivekananda, education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man, or education is the man making process. According to Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, education is the training the intellect, refinement of the heart, and discipline of the spirit. According to Sri Rabindranath Tagore, the highest education is that which does not merely gives us information but makes our life in harmony with all existence. According to Sri Aurobindo, he recommended an integrated education. Aurobindo says, true knowledge is not attained by thinking. It is what you are. It is what you become. Aristotle says, education is the process of creation of a sound mind in a sound body. Socrates says, education is the kindling of a flame and not the filling of a vessel.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा